Thanks for checking out this question from our daily live Zoom calls. Please like and subscribe to keep learning how we help the largest online community of self-directed retirement investors and entrepreneurs grow and control their retirement funds.
So the first question we wanted to share is, what happens to the shares when I die? Here, the question presented is, I'm considering using a ROBS 401k business financing plan to finance the purchase of a laundromat. What happens to the shares I own via the ROBS 401k when I die? What happens to the shares that I own personally? So recall that, you have to follow the specific steps in order to use the retirement money to buy or start a business without having to pay taxes or penalties. Specifically, the investment of that money is going to count as in a purchase of shares inside your 401k. So you're going to own part of the business through the 401k. You will also own part of the business outside of the 401k. So the stock will be issued in proportion to the amount of retirement money and non-retirement money invested. So at the end of the day, you'll own some shares through the 401k, some shares in your own name. If most of the money comes from the proceeds of that ROBS 401k rollover and investment, then the vast majority of the stock is going to be issued to the 401k. You might own 90% of the stock through the 401k and 10% in your own name. So now that we understand that foundation, the response is, as part of the ROBS 401k establishment process, we will provide a beneficiary election form where you can designate what happens to those 401k plan assets, including that stock that was issued to the 401k when you pass away. So when you first set up the plan, we're going to give you the beneficiary election form. Here you can designate, this is where my 401k assets are going to go to. This is who's going to inherit my 401k. Reading on with the response, the distribution of your personal assets, including the shares that you own personally, that will be governed by your own personal estate plan. So you might have a trust or a living trust or some other type of estate planning document which governs what happens to your non-401k assets. What happens to your 401k assets is governed by the beneficiary election form. I mean, some folks will even list their living trust as the beneficiary on that beneficiary election form, which is fine from a 401k perspective. You just want to confirm that the trust is able to receive those assets and work with your estate planning advisor to determine how to specifically list living trust on the beneficiary election.